Good evening, welcome to another late night stream. It's Saturday night and we are doing another one of U-Boat, the World War II submarine simulation where you slip into the role of a German submarine commander. A game with beautiful graphics. I think it wonderfully catches the atmosphere of the sea and also creates wonderful unscripted encounters which feel so real, and each encounter being something different because it evolves just from the open world. So where are we at the moment? In the Mediterranean, and our home port actually is La Spezia. We are already 4 years into the war. It's by now end of September 1943, and we are doing patrol missions in the Mediterranean. Our next mission goal to reach the 50,000 tons, of which we already have done 31,000 tons, and working on it. And then if we go to the next level of the Battle of the Mediterranean and fulfill this as well, probably this would demand something like 100,000 tons, we will see, and then we will get one blueprint, and my plan is then to upgrade to the Type 9. So we are playing with the update. I also have the DLC here on my PC, but I decided to continue my good old long-term campaign, which I am playing since almost a year, all through the war, streaming mission by mission, sharing it with you, my dear audience, on Twitch, and also uploading it to you, my dear watchers, on YouTube. So welcome everybody, and let's see what the situation is in particular at the moment. So end of the last stream yesterday night, we had that contact, and now we are going after the contact to figure out whether it's just a fisherman or some merchantman worthwhile to hunt down. If their speed would just be something like 4 or 5 knots, then it would for sure be a fisherman. If it's going faster, we are going for it. So we have this one single contact, and if it were an ordinary transport, after an hour they should be somewhere here. We do not yet know which direction they are going. And we are going for 1 hour, which, let's see, our speed is flank. So we should at least do 16 miles in 1 hour. A few minutes have already passed. So there we go. Let's go to something like 7:10, and then do another hydrophone check to get a second data point. And with two data points, 2 positions, we will be able to extrapolate their course and speed, give an estimation of it at least. So here we are, let's go for the next hydrophone check. Here in the Mediterranean there are a lot of single merchantmen, single unprotected merchantmen abroad, which is a large contrast to the last mission set that we did, the Arctic convoys, where we ran into pretty large and pretty well defended and well guarded convoys. So if you had something like 12 or 15 merchantmen, they were accompanied by another 10 escorts, which really did set up a close circle around that moving bulk of the transports. We are going down. By the way, let's take a look. Yeah, next time at the surface we might want to turn on the pump. We have collected a bit of water in the bilge. Food is just fine. And discipline is, although we have a fatigue level of 13, discipline is relatively high. This is because I offer 3 different types of food to the crew at the moment. Yeah, here we just arrived at 50 meters. And when I order hydrophone checks, the crew will just go down to 50 meters, stop the engines, and now we are doing 5 minutes of silent listening. And it looks like we already found our contact back. Okay, so looks like they are moving faster than 8 knots. Yeah, okay, 11 knots. That's reasonable. And this is definitely proof that this guy is no fisherman, no harmless fisherman, but a merchantman, and most probably an allied one. Hey, good evening, weight loss. How are you doing? Yeah, so how was your Saturday? Hope you had some relaxing time. So he would probably carry on with 11 knots, which means after 1 hour he would be there. And us, we would be there. Yeah, 11 knots, it's relatively fast, so it will become quite a bit of a chase. But nevertheless, let's finish, take the time, the 5 minutes time of the complete hydrophone check, just to make sure that we don't miss any other interesting contacts. Yeah, it might become tough. It will be a bit of a chase. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. So still, I think maybe at lunchtime we should be in a good attacking position. Yeah, weight loss. I'm sure that you did some gameplay since yesterday, didn't you? I mean, in UBOAT. So I would be curious how it is about the stability. I think you were one of the guys who said that you did have a bit of stability issues. You're playing right now. Yeah, great. Yeah. So you had a few crashes, hadn't you? Just bugs, okay, yep. Yeah, or was it Aqua Icing or Vulvulu who said that they had crashes actually? Well, I'm happy for now. But yeah, I'm still playing the good old Type 7. And yeah, I might repeat myself, but I'm just so happy that I can continue my save games even after the update. And yeah, even the deep leaks mod is working actually.
Anblasen.
Okay, back to the surface. And it's 7:20. So, what about the weather, by the way? Yeah, 11 knots of wind speed.
Meter.
Okay. Good point. So, the game then obviously has trouble.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Yeah, when you don't return to home port. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So, I was also a bit surprised. You remember yesterday I tried to get new orders via the radio, but it didn't work. I just didn't get the possibility to get a new mission. I did it once on this patrol and it worked, and now I wanted to do it a second time and it didn't work. And yeah, that would be pretty bad if you don't get the reward for your first mission then. Because I went into Salamis, yeah. Yeah, well. Yeah, I just don't want to be mad with the developers because I love the game so much, but yeah, it's a small team and I'm sure that they will be working on the bugs. Any salamis? No, not really. Or did I get sausages, at least? I think I did refill my sausages. I have it in the back of my mind that in ancient Greece, Salamis was kind of, yeah, that there was a famous sea battle or something. I should have to Google it, but I do have something very faintly in the back of my mind. So let's turn on the pump, please. And go for 1 hour. By the way, I didn't yet give it a new save slot. W4 1-4. Yes. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. And yep. Yeah, something like creating an experimental branch, right? The Greek versus the Persians, yeah. Was it that action where the Greek actually dismantled all their galleys and carried them over an isthmus and put them into the water again on the other side and took the Persians completely by surprise, something like that? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was another event, but it somehow rings a bell with me. So we go until 20 past 8. There we are. We are going a bit slower. Looks like we are not doing the 17 in average. And there we are. 20 past 8 in the morning. And let's do another hydrophone check.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
So, hydrophone check means that all the off-watch crew is moving to the front compartment. Mr. Arlos is opening the valves. Crewmates are manning the depth steers, and now, yeah, the ballast tanks are being filled with seawater quickly. I was a bit surprised to see that the helmsman actually changed position. There are 2 helmsman stations. One is here and one is up here. And it looks like when I said ordered them to dive, that the helmsman actually switched position from this helm to that helm. Interesting. So the crew, yeah, it's a workflow. This is what I like, what I love about the game. It's not too much micromanagement. You really control things, but yeah, not too much of micromanagement. Hey, why is this depth steers not yet manned?
45 Meter.
One guy sitting at the helm. Guys. This is something that I didn't have up to now, that the depth steer station is unmanned. One of them. Okay, this is a graphics bug. If you look at the statistics here, there are 2 guys at the depth steer station. I just don't see the one guy. This is something that I never saw before. I would classify this to be a new bug.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
Mr. Otto.
55 Meter.
And so Mr. Reitenbach is somehow missing. Hornicle. Where is Mr. Reitenbach? Is he invisible actually? He's kind of stuck here somehow. Look at these guys. They are somehow stuck. Yeah, however, let's ignore that for now and take a look at the map. He's still on the toilet, yeah. Have they implemented that the crew is actually sitting on the cuckstool? No collision crew. Yeah, no crew collision, yep. Yeah, that's amazing. I have to check that. I want to see that. So my dead reckoning seems to be pretty okay. They are even moving a bit faster. But I guess this is gonna be a big baby. Next, another 11 knots.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
And for us, just the same. But we are going 16 or 17 knots in 1 hour. Miles, I mean. Okay, you call it bongo, yeah. Yeah, in English you could also call it privy, but this is really completely in contrast to a submarine, so privacy is something that you never ever have, probably not even on the toilet. The UBOAT, yeah. Yeah, actually, historically, on a man o' war, you had it like somewhere afore in the forecastle, in the forecastle. So some kind of place where you could just put your butt over the railing.
Anblasen.
Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe 25 Meter. Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloy, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Yeah, maybe you could just wipe your ass with the spray coming up from the from the bows. Yeah, and there was always this kind of traditional division of the ship into before the mast and above the mast. And so the captain wouldn't have liked it to have all the crew stand in queue next to his cabin to go abaft for that business. Half past 8. Let's go for 9:30. Yes. Yep. Right. That's right. Should be something below. Yep. We are really going relatively slow. Our average speed over the hour is Let's take a look at the sea. Yeah, okay, look at the sea. Now it looks reasonable. In the past, when we had something like 11 or 12 knots of wind speed, we had an enormous swell, which felt pretty unrealistic. But if you look at the swell right now, it looks okay. Just my gut feeling is that the boat is a bit deeper in the water than it used to be before the update. Or what do you think? Is it just my imagination? Yeah, it would be nice if it would make a difference if you would still have full stores and a full complement of torpedoes. Yeah, maybe we can save us the next hydrophone check and just go for another hour.
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
Yeah, right? Yep. Might it be that they have corrected something in one of these little patches that we got? Yeah, like a rubber duck, yeah. Okay, now give us the next data point.
Tauchen auf 50
And please do another hydrophone check. Yeah, here off watch crew, and here we again. This sailor is going to the conning tower for the helm. Now, 2 crewmates manning the depth steers, the valves being opened, and the ballast tanks being flooded. Okay, so I have to admit that I didn't read all the patch notes in detail, so it was a major part of that. Okay, yeah. Good to hear it. It was weird. And it was actually a bit kind of, yeah, a drop in immersion. So good that they
25 Meter.
changed it, improved it. Hey, Raging Rick, good evening. How are you doing? I hope you had a good Saturday. Nice that you dropped in.
45 Meter.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 40 Grad.
All right. Of course, good to see that it's still there. Yeah, you could say they shouldn't just vanish, and they usually don't, but sometimes they do, and in very few cases they do vanish, and then it's not a bug, but it means that another German submarine got them.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen. Ja?
Again, they are pretty close to my estimated position of theirs.
55 Meter.
we are catching up, but slowly.
Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
So if we would go for another 2 hours, it would be 22 miles, and here it was 21. However, just estimated something like so it would be 32, right,
Meter.
for us. And so we are slowly closing in, but we would still be far out of their vision range. Yeah, on that distance we ourselves wouldn't yet be able to spot not even their smoke column. Ooh. Hey, wow, the number of watchers is going up. Nice to have you in, guys. So don't worry, I don't see you in detail. I mean, I just see the number. And if you lurk, it's perfectly fine, but even the better if you put some comment into the chat. Nice to have you with me. And good evening. Yeah, I had a pretty relaxed Saturday. I spent some time with the family, but also had some opportunity to spend time with the gaming. And what I did something like 2 hours of Stalker 2. So I'm really reluctant to stream Stalker 2, but I still kind of like the game. And there had been a lot of updates lately, patches and DLCs even. And so I decided to try it out again. And just right now I am experimenting with mods of Stalker 2. So the A-Life of Stalker 2 is not very strong yet in vanilla, which refers to that you have kind of a consistent world where you have characters running around even when you're not there, that things are happening not only in your vision range but also all outside, and you have some consistency and persistence. And I actually did install a mod to improve this a bit. And I installed a weather mod which kind of improved the weather impressions a bit. And yeah, let's see. Up to now I quite like it. So yeah, still I'm not sure if I would ever stream that one, particularly now that I'm relatively busy at work. So for the next weeks I will probably only have my minimum slots of streaming of Thursday night, Friday night and Saturday night, and I think I won't give them away for another game.
Anblasen.
Hey, Colin. Okay, your local football club. Oh, yeah. So, I'm sorry, but I'm not that deep into it. Is it then the Scottish League or is it the UK League? But whatever it is, my congratulations. That's nice. So great to have you back in.
5 Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloin, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Oh shit, I was talking and talking. Or, no, that's the position. So everything's alright, and let's carry on. For now, let's go for 2 hours. It's 20 to 1. 20 to 11. Let's go to 20 to 1. Yeah, the weather seems to be relatively stable at the moment. Twenty to 12. One more. And here we are. And yeah, what would we do next? Hydrophone check.
50 Meter.
So if I'm so ignorant about that, it's not because I disrespect the UK football. It's just also in German football I'm not that firm. I have to admit. Tanks being flooded again. Okay, it was just this. The guy was getting stuck.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5
Auf
Meter.
E-Motoren wechseln.
Ah, okay, alright, yeah. So you have your own league, yeah.
25 Meter.
Is it still like what I have in the back of my mind that the Scottish League is pretty much dominated by the two Glaswegian teams?
45 Meter.
Yeah, I remember back then to the Hearts of Midlothian, but I think they were not
Aktuelle Tiefe
so very
50
good.
Meter.
And
Typen gehört. Anscheinend ist er ein ziemlicher Spaßvogel.
yeah, always what I heard was back then that it's like, yeah, that the two Glasgow teams are a bit like in German it's Bayern München.
55 Meter.
So that the two teams pretty much dominate the league. Yeah, but it's a while ago actually.
50 Meter.
Celtic and Rangers, yeah. Hey, the Hearts are leading. Yeah, okay, nice. Of course, they have my sympathy because I've been living in Edinburgh for a year. But it's a few years ago, I have to admit. But let's not dive too deep into this question, because I would prefer to camouflage my real age.
55 Meter. Die Sonne neiget, der feuchte Nebel steiget. Mein Tag wird es getan, mein Tag wird es getan.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Braun?
Okay, guys, why don't we get any contact? They must be there, but we don't get any hydrophone contact yet. Guys, Where are they? Why don't we hear anything? Ah, come on, that would be too bad. If that contact just vanished. It should be there by now. Yeah, as I am supplying the crew still with 4 different types of food, the discipline is still relatively high, although I have that high fatigue level of -13.
Meine Schwester mag keine Petersilie. Jedes Mal, wenn unsere Mutter Suppe mit Petersilie macht, zieht sie komische Grimassen. Es ist lustig anzusehen, aber es lässt mich auch mal zu Hause vermissen.
How interesting. So that crewmate was just telling us that his sister doesn't like parsley. Very interesting. Okay, you're still actively playing. Nice, yep.
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
Hey, awesome. That's a hat trick actually. So 3 streams in a row. Nice to have you in. Yeah, so great. I very much appreciate you being in the stream. But I think I already mentioned that. I don't want to be repetitive, but yeah, just great to have you. Yeah, they have the biggest budget. That's why I always had this kind of comparison in the back of my mind with Bayern München, which is, I think, the team in Germany which has the biggest budget by far. So they really get the good players and they can actually hold the good players over a long time. Like Harry Kane, for example.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 50 Grad.
20 Meter.
Herr Kaloin?
Alright, just while we are going back to the surface,
Herr Kaloi, wir
we
sind
only
drauf.
got them. But there they are, where they were to be expected. Alright, but that was weird. So we were down there, and only when we were going back to the surface, we got the contact. But it's alright. Now let's see if we go for another 2 hours. They would be there. And us. Nah. Saving. Alright. Yeah, the game is stable. So we are getting parallel. 11 miles is still a lot, so they would still never be able to spot us. Alright, pretty amazing the chase that we do here. Let's give it a save. Yes, it's Bayern München, Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, exactly, yeah. But I think even if you compare the two teams of Dortmund and Munich, I would still think that Munich has quite some bigger budget than Dortmund. But I don't know. As far as I know, Borussia Dortmund actually issued shares a while ago. Yeah, that's the two big clubs. I might have mentioned that I am living in the Frankfurt area, working in Frankfurt, so I do have a certain sympathy for the Frankfurt team. Eintracht Frankfurt. And yeah, I'm living west of Frankfurt. And there is Mainz, which also has a nice little team. That's pretty great. I mean, this city of Mainz, they do have not much of a budget, but they still manage to stay in the first league, in the Bundesliga. And that I really appreciate. So it's 10 to 1. Let's go on for another 2 hours. And we are slowly catching up. Okay, did I say that my guess was that we would be in action at something like lunchtime? No, not by far. We could be happy if we get into action at daylight before the sun sets. So here we are, 1 hour. And on we go.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
We are going pretty fast at the moment. Our average speed is pretty good. So over 2 hours. So it was something like 70 knots at average that we were doing, which is good. Distance. Still. Yeah, I don't think that the smoke column or... Oh, there is something on the horizon already. Let's check that. I add something like 90 degrees. Was it? There it is. Okay. We already have eyes on the smoke column of theirs. Pretty exactly 90 degrees. So I think we don't need another hydrophone check. Yeah, that's pretty safe that we have them there.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
No. Them going on with 11 knots. Us going on with something like 16 knots. And then we are nicely ahead of them and can bear down on their course to intercept them.
2, gewartet.
Yeah, great. Thanks that all of you guys join my stream. That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm just a small streamer, so if there is something like 12 people watching, that's wonderful. Thanks for joining the channel. Of course, you could make me even more happy if you would participate in the chat. But yeah, don't feel pushed. Lurking and watching is perfectly fine. And yes, of course, you could make me even more happy if you would drop me a follow. But yeah, just as I said, just do as you like. Lurk, watch, whatever you like. You are completely anonymous, as long as you don't participate in the chat. And if you have that feeling that this chat is relatively kind of private, or old acquaintances have in the chat, yeah, well, it might be a bit like that, but don't hesitate. Any newcomer is warmly welcomed. Yeah, a bit of water in the bilge, but almost nothing. So we are fine, and we are going to go for 1 more hour. Ah, hey, Chainsaw. Nice to have you in again. Good evening. How are you doing? Yeah. You haven't been in the chat for a while, but on the other hand, I have to admit that I was also reducing my streams a bit, because over the week I was pretty busy job-wise. So nice to see you again. Oh, okay, too bad. Yeah, my wife has the same issue. She was just struggling with a bit of a throat ache in the evening. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I hope you get well soon.
Torpedorohr 3, gewartet.
Or, well, that it doesn't get worse. Yeah, I'm in the Mediterranean. I'm doing this mission set here, Battle of the Mediterranean, and I'm in this first level here, having sunk 31,000 tons. And yeah, I'm so happy that you can go on with old save games even after the update. So my hope is that next I will try to finish this level 2, and then hopefully could upgrade to the Type 9. And yeah, I'm still on our good old campaign, which I started almost a year ago. So it's September, end of September 43. We are 4 years into the war. Do we get eyes on? Yeah, we do. Let's see if we get an angle. A bearing. 125 roughly. Yep, so they must be somewhere there. we might be in the right position to bear down on their course. So if we do it like that,
Kurs setzen.
and half an hour would bring us there, half an hour would bring them there. Yeah, that would be all right. So no need for doing another hydrophone check at the moment. Yeah, we completely refilled our stores at Salamis. Problem was that port was, the entry to the port was so very shallow. Okay, Mr. Schultz, what are you doing? That was not pretty well animated, but looks like Mr. Schultz. Ah, it's him. Yeah. Alright, I have to be AFK just for 1 minute. But let me pause the game. Alright, back again and depause. Now it's something like, yeah, almost 90 degrees again. Yeah, 80 actually. Let's do some kind of sanity check. Another half an hour would bring them there and would bring us there. Still having a distance of 6 miles. That should be all right. I just need to make sure that they don't spot us.
Torpedorohr 5.
Der Kapitän.
Alright. Another half an hour. That's a bug. It's only one ship at 110. Alright. So now we should be in a good position.
Kurs setzen. Kurs setzen.
Yeah, that merchantman wouldn't be able to spot us. We can see their smoke column, but they can't see us on that distance. Yeah, we should be able to get that guy. Textbook-like. Yeah, if our extrapolation of the course is fairly okay, we are already in a very good firing position.
Halbe Fahrt voraus. Auf Seerohrtiefe.
So what if we would just go for periscope depth right here and stay here and wait for that ship to approach us? Mr. Arlo's opening the valves. The Mediterranean Sea streaming into our ballast tanks. First filling the 4 ballast tank. And then filling the stern ballast tank. Okay, maybe, yeah, Mr. Arlos, if you would take care that the crew is very...
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
Yeah, have an eye on the depth keeping, please. So that we don't broach the surface.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff.
Yeah.
70 Grad.
Alright.
Herr Kapitän.
Where are they? Okay, okay. But yeah, don't rely too much on this now. Hey, Billy Buckbath. Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And yeah, particularly I want to thank you for the follow. That's very much appreciated. Yeah. Yeah, you are not in the stream for the first time. Has it been yesterday or the day before yesterday that you dropped in? And yeah, wonderful to see that you came back, and thanks for the follow. So how are you doing? How was your Saturday? I'm not quite sure where you're from. I mean, around here at my place, we are already for 1.5 hours into the Sunday, actually. But I know that we do have quite a few people watching from the US or Canada. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, okay. So it's pretty late already at your place, just like we have it here.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 95 Grad.
Yeah, nice to have you in. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that by my accent you can tell that I am actually German. Hey, yippee up. Nice to have you in. I was just saying that we have quite a few people also watching from the US and Canada, and there is yippee up coming in from the US. Nice to have you. How are you doing? Hope you had a good Saturday. And great to have you in. So we are in the approach for that merchantman, which is still something like 5 miles ago. Oh, hey, come on. That doesn't sound good. That really doesn't sound good. Yeah, it doesn't sound good, so that I'm even kind of a bit of worried to ask about details, so just do as you like. Okay, no, let's not go too deep into that one. Yeah, I hope you are. But yeah, don't hesitate. I mean,
Alle Maschinen stopp.
I don't feel bothered or something if you tell us your problems. There is sometimes things which you might... I mean, this is kind of an anonymous thing that we do here. So, yeah. As I said, I'm really, kind of course, I do care, but I'm kind of worried or feel a bit hesitating to actually ask for more details. Yeah. So what you say is, it sounds like not just that you lost him as a friend, but that, he passed away, actually. That's how it sounds. So we cannot yet lock onto the target. It's still too far away, but I think we are in a good position now. Yep, all right. Yep, no, perfectly fine. Let's do that. So that might help just as well. So we can't lock onto the target yet, and map wise they are still pretty far away. I stopped the engines and still 8 miles or something. Let's see how they are coming in. And do a bit of time acceleration.
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
Alarm! Tanker!
Dafür haben wir Ziel. Wir werden das gemeinsam
Wow, it's a tanker. But guys, you don't have to be on battle station. Step away and relax. So this will give us quite a bit of tonnage then. -65 degrees. My guess would be that they are coming in something like that, which would mean that by now it's 5 miles and they would pass within 1 mile.
Kleine Fahrt voraus. Alle Maschinen, stopp!
70 degrees. This is a wild guess, I have no idea. Or could I get any hydrophone signal at the moment?
Herr Kapitän?
Ooh. Okay. So this is complete bullshit what I get. The hydrophone signal just doesn't make any sense.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Let's see which tanker it actually is. Freighter tanker. Could be this one. I don't think that is this one. Pretty much looks like this one here with a relatively small funnel in the back. Yeah, I think we have that one. Velocity 11 knots and now 60 degrees.
Rohr 1 gewartet.
Which means that the angle on bow would be something like 22 degrees. And what about the distance? Give it a guess for now. Still pretty far away, 4,000 meters. It's something like 3.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung 419. 1 Meter. Gegnerlage 2, 3. Bug links. Geschwindigkeit 1, 1. Knoten.
So my guess is that they're more moving something like that. Dale class, yeah, let's check it out. Just didn't. Yep, that's what I think. It's a Dale class, yeah. Yeah. That's quite a good confirmation if you say so. I wasn't 100% sure, but yeah, if you look at, you had this kind of center bridge and then this relatively small funnel in the back, and the other ships have, this one has a much more pronounced funnel. Yeah, so I think it's the Dale class. Yeah, 100% agree. And the sun is setting. All right, nice. In the west. That's so beautiful. the way. I need to be AFK just for 1 minute. Yeah, sooner or later we have to make sure that the maintenance status of our torpedoes is alright. Okay. But maybe it's a bit too early now. I think we are coming in all right. Now 55 degrees. Hey, come on. What would it be? 26 degrees, right?
Aktualisieren. Lage.
Now
7,
the
Bug, links.
distance. Let's estimate the distance. Yeah, the sea is so very quiet, very comfortable. 1 mile, 10 knots.
1,809 Meter. Alle Maschinen, stopp.
$50. Giving an angle on bow of 30 degrees. Yeah, okay, that's consistent. And another estimate of the distance. That's so comfortable having that silent sea.
Aktualisieren. Entfernung zum Ziel. 1,406 Meter. Winkel. 3, 1, Bug, links.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Yeah, they are coming in. And we are in a very nice firing position, I would say. $40. Let's check if the angle on bow that the targeting computer gives us is consistent. Would be something like 40. Mr. Schultz or Boson, please man the torpedo calculator. There they are coming in. It's a British ship, yeah. Meanwhile, so I sometimes even forget to check the nationality because I just assume that it's hostile. And here it is, 30 degrees. Yeah, that's fine. I think we are having a good, very good approach.
Aktualisieren. Entfernung 903 Meter.
That's just
Lage
fine.
6-1 links.
So they're coming in like that. At 5 cables, half a mile.
Aktualisieren. Entfernung zum
Should
Ziel.
be alright.
6 Meter. Winkel 7-1
Depth.
links.
8
1
broad,
bewässert.
9.
Rohr 1 bewässert.
9 should be alright.
Los! Rohr 2 bewässern. Rohr 2 bewässern. Los! Rohr 3 bewässern. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. Los! 30 Sekunden. 30 Sekunden. 20 Sekunden. 20 Sekunden.
Yeah, please, fingers crossed that it's not a dot. Two hits. Two hits. These two torpedoes did hit almost in the same second. Okay, there is already lifeboats out. Wow, 12,000 tons. There they are going down. They are definitely.
Kurs setzen. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
let's get to the surface.
10 Meter.
1 geladen.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloin, feindliche Schiffe gegen Alarm.
Wir wissen, wie es geht. Drehen wir den Spieß gegen diese Jäger um.
Heck.
Aufgetaucht.
Why are they still giving alarm? They're sinking. That feels a bit buggy, actually. Wow. That guy's going down. Yeah, Colin, that's a dead ship, yep. And the sunset in the background.
Torpedo vor 1 gewartet.
Three hits.
Die Besatzung evakuiert das Schiff.
Yeah, people might say that I overdo it when I fire 3 torpedoes, but yeah, I'm playing on maximum difficulty levels, so there is quite some error margin. And so this is what I always do. Fire 1 torpedo to the bow, 1 to the center, 1 to the stern, and if my calculations are kind of faulty, at least one of them usually hits. Nice graphics, isn't it? Beautiful. Yeah, let's report this to the headquarters.
Funkraum besetzen.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Yeah, I can't report them to be sunk yet.
Funktelegramm gesendet.
Okay, these 2 guys. Let's get them on board. And give them some supplies, yeah. Which gives us some reputation.
Alle Maschinen stopp.
Yeah, they should be going down. By the way, while the ship's going down, I still do have some birthday gift upstairs, which is a bottle of Scotch whiskey. I didn't have any sip of it yet. Actually, my birthday was exactly on that date when the update came for UBOAT, which was the 17th of April. And one of that nice little gifts that I got was a bottle of Scotch whiskey. So I think now, having sunk that ship, it's the right time to just have a little sip of that one. First sip of that bottle. So let me save it. And I'll be back in a minute.
Hüllenbruch. Sie sinken.
Einer weniger. Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
Alright, so we got that one. Let's report that success back to headquarters.
Funktelegramm gesendet.
Yeah, Colin, that was a bit surprising. Yes, that looked nice, yeah. Yeah, they're really doing a good job graphics-wise. And that's important, I mean. At least from my point of view, graphics is a big part to create immersion. And they are really doing a great job about that.
Kurs setzen.
I got this bottle of whiskey from my mother. It was a birthday gift, as I mentioned, so sláinte, guys. I like it. It's good. I mean, I'm definitely not an expert, but at first I was a bit kind of reluctant because it's Glenfiddich, and I did have that kind of prejudice that Glenfiddich is kind of a mainstream whiskey, but it's all right. It's all right. Usually I would prefer some whiskey which is a bit more pronounced in terms of peat and smoke. But yeah, I like it. It's good. Well, it tastes good, so I don't want to put myself into the role of some kind of a whiskey expert, which I am not, but I still like it.
Rohr 3 geladen.
But to be honest, I think I would. Okay, yep. I only visited one distillery in Scotland, and that was on the Orkneys. Hey, come on, what's the name of that one? Let me see, do I still have a bottle around here? An empty bottle of them? No. Highland Park, yeah, exactly, that's it. Yeah. So I once, many years ago, I went to the Orkneys and we visited the Highland Park distillery. And yeah, what I like the Highland Park whiskey pretty much. And over the years, I had a few bottles of Lafroig, which I also like. Glenmorangie, yeah, I think that's a good one. Yep. I think I like that one just as well. Yep. I have to admit that I was not so fond of the Irish whiskies, which I tried.
Halbe Fahrt voraus.
So overall mission success, we just have to sink 1 or 2 more ships to finally have the goal. Yeah, Glenmorangie, yep. And there is this distillery on the Isle of Skye, which I also quite liked. Okay. As I said, I'm not an expert on whiskey, but yeah, I have to admit that I haven't heard of that one. The Macallan. I'm gonna note that one. Nice. I didn't have a whiskey for quite some time. Might be that this is my first whiskey since a year or something. And yeah, pretty much enjoy it. let's give it a save and let's hope that we have a safe journey back home.
Geladen.
6 o'clock in the evening. Okay, so we managed to sink that guy before sunset.
Ja?
Navigation besetzen.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloy.
Yeah, whatever radio transmission we get there. So we did sink another guy. Very good. And now let's get back to our home port. Of course, on the way we are gonna do some frequent hydrophone checks just in case.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Every 8 hours. Here we are.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
So one hydrophone check, please.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Yeah, the sea is so deep. I mean, you could think that the Mediterranean is some pretty shallow pond, but it is not. Around here it's 2,000 to 2,500 meters deep. Yeah, we still don't have the dark nights. The nights are still much brighter than they used to be in the game before the update when you played on dark nights.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Yeah, a bit of water in the bilge, completely uncritical. And the galley.
25 Meter.
Yeah, we are still offering a wide range of food. And the discipline being at 100%, despite the fatigue level of 13.
Meter.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 40 Grad.
Meter.
Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 115 Grad.
Meter.
Glenlivet, yeah. Speyside is still, yeah. I remember the Glenlivet. I like that one. Yeah, there is a few guys from my friends back from school days. And yeah, we now and then meet, something like every half a year we meet, and there is, yes, some of them who are also a bit into whiskey, and so something like every other half a year we meet and everybody brings his favorite whiskey. We have contact. Oh, come on. I wanted to get back home, but when we actually do have another contact. Oh, come on. Loads of contacts. So it's a single 01.
Ja.
Single 02. And the third one
Ihre Befehle, Herr Kanon.
being up there.
Herr Kaloy?
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
Oh, come on. So many contacts. That's just amazing. Just can't get back home like that. So this guy, standard merchantman, would be moving with 8 knots. Same here. Let's see. I'm just talking about my friends from school days.
Meter. Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloy, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Okay, sorry, I was a bit distracted. Just checked my mail. I was just mentioning my good old school friends and wanted to check. There was some feedback. Now, what for us? 16 miles. Yeah, 1 hour. It's 2:15. Let's go for 3:15 and see where they are.
Äußerste Kraft voraus. Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
So, please give me the next hydrophone check. Yeah, this is definitely not Dark Nights. I am playing with, yeah, almost 100% difficulty level. And one of the features is Dark Nights, and this is not Dark Nights. I pretty much like how they did the stars. That's pretty beautiful.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter. E-Motorenwechsel.
Meter.
Now let's see if we pick up more hydrophone signals from all these contacts. We had 3 contacts at a time. I'm curious which ones of these are gonna turn out to be decent targets to torpedo, to go after, to chase.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 55 Grad. 50 Meter. Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Okay, there is one. And, well, to be honest, this pretty much looks like it's a fisherman. If it's only going with 4 knots, it's a fisherman, not worthwhile to track down.
Herr Kapitän?
Let's see what the other contacts do.
Aktuelle Tiefe 55 Meter.
Hey guys, that's so great. I mean, I'm just a small streamer and having 14 people watching, more than 10 people watching. That's just so great. Thanks for being in. So, I don't see your names, don't feel watched or observed. I just see the number of people going up. And it's perfectly fine if you just lurk and watch silently. Just makes me happy to have a few people watching, and of course makes me even more happy if you would participate in the chat. Give me a hi, tell me where you're from or what your relation to the game is. Are you playing the game U-Boat since years, or are you just new and want to get some information?
10 Grad.
But don't feel pushed. Perfectly fine if you just watch. And of course, getting some new followers is also great, but no need. Do as you like. So we get some more contacts. This one, this one. Yeah, okay. Now we have it. That guy is moving away, also pretty slow. 5 miles. This is also just a
Aktuelle Tiefe 5
fisherman, I'm sure.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy?
But this guy is not a fisherman. Yeah, this is a real merchant going with 11 knots. Let's go for that guy. Let's chase this contact. So another 11 knots would bring them there after 1 hour. And I would like to intercept them.
Kurs setzen.
Yeah, let's go. It's a long, lonely hunt. Yeah, well, the game actually demands a bit of patience. It's no quick action arcade game, but you get quite some immersion. So let's see that we get that guy.
45 Meter.
Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe.
There we are surfacing.
Herr Kaloy, ich bin aufgetaucht.
Half past 3. Let's go until 4:30. And here we are. Let's give it another hydrophone check to confirm their course and speed. The prey is getting wiser. Yeah, well, I mean, here in the Mediterranean scenario, it's relatively relaxed. There is no escort, it's just these single merchantmen. So it's much easier to sink the guys than it was back then when we were doing the Arctic Convoys mission.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
So, do we get any contact?
Aktuelle Tiefe 5
Auf
Meter.
E-Motoren wechseln. ...25 Meter.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 60 Grad. 45 Meter. ...50 Meter.
Fisherman. Yeah, that's a fisherman for sure.
Herr Kaloy?
But this guy up there is more important.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. So I didn't run into any convoy yet. So I'm doing the Mediterranean now since a few weeks. I mean, in-game weeks. And I didn't run into a single convoy. It was only single merchantmen, unprotected.
Aktuelle Tiefe 55 Meter.
Meter. Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 290 Grad.
Mhm.
Aktuelle Tiefe 55 Meter.
All right. So them going on for another 11 miles within 1 hour. What about us? Doing 17 miles, 16 miles per hour. Yeah, maybe we are gonna finish that one. It's just less than 7,000 tons left to finish that first level of the Battle of the Mediterranean. Yeah, I think that will be some nice coordinated action again. We are gonna intercept that guy nicely.
Anblasen. Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
Herr Kaloy, wir sind aufgetaucht.
And here we are. Yeah, we are still far away. On that distance, there is no chance that we spot the smoke column or something.
Kurs setzen.
And there we are closing in, still having sufficient distance that they wouldn't spot us. Let's give it another save.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen. Jawohl, Herr Kaloy.
Diesel besetzen.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Now another hydrophone check, please. Yep, the trap is set. We are in a good position now.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Yeah, we are putting ourselves into a good position now, I think.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5
Auf
Meter.
E-Motoren wechseln.
50 Meter.
What about the contacts? Do we get any hydrophone contacts like that?
55 Meter.
Meter.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 275 Grad. Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 150 Grad.
»55 Meter.
Yeah, hey, yep. If you have, yeah, that would be a good idea to get some counseling, yeah. Yeah, do that. I mean, I'm just afraid to break something if I would now dig into it and ask you to go deep into it. I would just be worried that we are, yeah, well, not quite getting to the point. And yeah, I could well imagine that there is always just something that reminds you of your friend and your loss.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 205 Grad.
Jawohl.
Yeah, do that. Have a chat with your parents about that. I really don't want to force you into any details here in the stream, in the chat. So just share what you kind of feel okay to be shared. But where if your situation is actually like, I understand that it is, then yeah,
Anblasen.
there is not so much that I can say about that.
Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
Well,
25 Meter.
I also have lost people, I mean, but not, well, my father died many years ago, and that was pretty tough.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
But up to now, I'm kind of lucky that close friends are still all well. So up to now, I wasn't in a situation that a close friend of mine actually did die. Some, former colleagues. Which I didn't have any contact with anymore. Which is also, pretty tough to recognize that somebody's not there anymore. And my father actually. Now,
Kurs setzen.
Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy?
back to the surface. Do we have any smoke on the horizon? No, we don't have yet. Sooner or later there should be smoke. Still not yet.
Kurs setzen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloy.
By the way, what's the situation of the torpedoes? Okay, they're all loaded. How long does it take? It's being moved. Yeah, they are moving the torpedo from the external slot to the internal slot. But I don't know. They could have done better with this animation. But nevertheless, I think it's great that they implemented that concept. Having a good animation or not, it's great to have this external torpedo concept implemented in the game. Alright, so I am heeding the time. It's getting pretty late around here. It's approaching 3 o'clock in the morning, and so it would be a decent time to turn in and get some sleep. So let's give it a save here. And yeah, so I'm not quite sure. Probably my next stream would only be next week, Thursday. Maybe I'm gonna do something tomorrow, but not quite sure. Yeah, as I said, I do have a lot of work to do at the moment over the week, so most probably my next stream will be on next Thursday. So it was a pleasure. That stream was pretty crowded. It was great to have all of you guys in. So if anybody of you still feels to give me a follow, that would be very much appreciated. And yeah, I wish you all have a good Sunday, and yeah, see you next week. See you in the next stream. It was a pleasure to have you in. Bye bye, guys. See you. Yeah, who was in the stream actually? Collie? Yeah, nice. To slow it down, yeah, maybe that. I don't know if it is actually implemented in the simulation, but in principle that makes sense. Yeah. So Colin, it was a pleasure to have you. Chainsaw, yep. So yeah, what shall I say? I hope you get over it. Billy Buck, it's great to have you in. It was a pleasure. And weight loss, you were in as well. Chainsaw, awesome if you're still there. It was so great to have you. Raging Rick was in the stream as well. So you guys, all of you, have a good night. It was a pleasure to have you in, and see you tomorrow. You don't want to have these guys swept overboard. Yeah, that is what it actually looks like. So good night and see you tomorrow, guys. Bye bye.